What's up, YouTube? Erod212 with another video. This is gonna be my 2019 recap video. I'm gonna go over most of the books, the top books that I think I added this year to my collection. Um, my focus for 2019 was not to buy a lot of the lower end spec books that we were getting sucked up into with the Key Collector app and other people speculating on websites and stuff like that. I won't get into that any further, but I kind of got away from that. I made the conscious decision not to focus on that, focus on books that I enjoy, but also I'm still specking, but I'm specking on books that I feel have substance in, be it the DC universe or that Marvel Cinematic Universe. Also, if the book becomes hot, and TV properties such as Umbrella Academy comes along and I can get it for a good deal, I would pick that up. Remember, Umbrella Academy has season 2 coming out. That book might see a spike again. Rise Zero was another book that spiked once the movie news started coming. It's kind of dwindled down, but if Vin Diesel kicks ass as Rye and the Valiant universe kicks into place, there's a whole nother realm of books that people can start hunting for. Harbinger 1 and Bloodshot 4 and Rise Zero, Archer and Armstrong Zero, the gold foil variants. There's quite a few, and it's good storytelling. But anyway, let me start with I was real happy to get this book. I just showed it on, I believe, my last haul, but it's Batman 655, the 1 in 10 Andy Kubert variant, a book that I have been searching for a long time, for the right price and the right condition. Just to show you, I've been sitting on that book for about 2 years now. 2 to 3 years I've been sitting on that book on eBay, just watching it, looking for the proper price to come along. Hit a con and bought a couple of other books from a dealer and mentioned that book, and he just happened to have one up on his wall, but it was kind of buried, so we didn't see it. And yeah, he did the right thing because I bundled some pretty big books from him, so he gave me a good deal on that. Another variant that I was super happy to get, and shout out to my man Comically Flawed, because Adam hooked me up with this one here, and that's Thunderbolts 127, the Jock variant. Another book that you don't see too often out there. Book I coveted for a long time. So this is one of the books I've been specking on, and I'll show you. Silver Surfer #1. Just, I think the ceiling on this book is not there yet. I think it still has room to grow, although it has, raised up quite a bit in value over the last year and a half. Still not there. It's his first ongoing series. It's just amazing Jack Kirby artwork on there. It's that iconic cover. As a matter of fact, it's my t-shirt. I mean, just love it. And I keep seeing a rise on it. So if you follow the market, the 12-month to current rate to 12 months, there's a good spike on it. Another book that I've been specking on this book for a good 4 years now, maybe. TiVo from Lords of the Law Box has been doing the same thing. We always used to talk about this book in the comic community. King of the Golden State's another guy that we used to all chat with about this book. Just, Silver Surfer #3, First Mephisto. So I picked up 2 of them. One I picked up at Baltimore Comic Con. It's probably like a 6-0-ish shape. And this one I picked up from a seller on the Let Go app. For a while, that Let Go app was really good, but now everybody's kind of jumped on it and you're not getting the deals. But I was able to find a Silver Surfer 1, a Silver Surfer 3, and a Silver Surfer 4, all for reasonable prices from the same seller. On that Let Go app. But that's in the New York area. Maybe if you try it in your area and take a look, you might have some success. So just another option to utilize. Another book that I keep specking on and I'm always grabbing, Fantastic Four annual number 6, First Annihilus. But like I say all the time, it's also the first Franklin Richards, and that's something that I just don't know why. But I think that the Richards children can play a big role in the Marvel Cinematic, especially with their powers. This was a purchase at Baltimore Comic Con. It was one of the better deals I found there, but this book has gotten real pricey. I bought a low-end 3.5, pretty cheap for about 70 bucks, maybe 2 years ago. And now a 3.5, they're a couple $100 already. I mean, it's getting to be pricey, but I picked that up. I was happy with that copy. Instagram, another location to buy books. You always get some good deals. So somebody had put up a recommendation and linked me onto a person that was selling some books. Didn't have much sales, no, not that many sales on or pictures, so I was a little hesitant. So I did a smaller purchase first, and the person came through very well and packed well, and pictures were accurate. There was great communication, all the things I look for when I'm trying to, make a deal. So I wound up later on purchasing Amazing Spider-Man number 17, second appearance of the Green Goblin from that person. And it's a nice copy. I'm hoping for like between the 5 and 6.0 range. Nice copy. Got this book for a good deal. I was with the New York Warriors at, and I'll show it right there, but it's Marvel Premiere number 15. So the New York Warriors at the Clifton show, and if these characters, being Daredevil, which is now being rumored to be in there, making an appearance, but if Iron Fist or Luke Cage, which both their books have dropped, make an appearance, watch out. They can be done the right way, not Finn Jones and all of that stuff. It'll be, I mean, Mike Colter was really good. I liked him as Luke Cage, but Finn Jones sucked. So, spec book. Couldn't pass this up. Got the right price for it. Got this at East Coast Comic Con. I did very well at East Coast this year. There was some deals to be had. I picked up a nice copy of Detective Comics 880. And recent raffle win, my man Joe Rock was Sergeant Fury and his Holland Commandos number 13. Early cover appearance of Captain America. Classic. I mean, look at that. That's probably one of the best Cap covers out there. That Cap 100, but Kirby killed it on that. And here's a DC book that I've been specking on. I talk to Marky NYC about this all the time. But if that DC universe for HBO comes through and Jon Stewart's not in it, I will be disappointed. I can clearly see Jon Stewart being in it. So one copy was off of a YouTube raffle, and another copy was at East Coast Comic Con. And third copy I got off of Instagram. So pretty nice, pretty happy. All mid-graders, but nice books. Another thing I picked up at East Coast I was super excited to get. Another book I've been following for a long time, and that's the whole thing. Patience. Have patience, and you'll get what you want. Fantastic Four number 110. This is the printing era variant. As you can see, the thing, they oversaturated with the green. I guess one of the printing plates wasn't working properly. This is a true variant before we started mass producing number ratio variants and everything. I don't know how many of these are out there, but I had never seen one in the wild. To see that at a con, I had to scoop it up. Big shout out to Saps Comics. They had that up there. Another book that I purchased off of Instagram recently was this. Actually, I didn't. This is a Zap Comic sale. Excuse me. FF Annual number 45. First appearance of the Inhumans. The TV show bombed, but if you're watching TiVo and Lords of the Long Box and you're following Mikey Sutton, you'll know that allegedly the Illuminati is going to be making a cinematic appearance in the Doctor Strange movie, which they're talking Charles Xavier, Black Bolt, and Submariner all being introduced. Woo! My God. It's the time to buy FF45, Submariner 1. But actually, that Iron Man Submariner is another good book to get, because that predates the Submariner 1 and Iron Man number 1. And X-Men number 1 is Charles Xavier's, kind of a bigger boy book there. The other two are obtainable, though. And in the last Raw book I'm going to show you, and then I have some slabs here that I want to show you. Last Raw book, I had an ASM 13 that I got a really good deal on. Manny NYC hooked me up, and I was able to trade that book. It was a 6.0, I believe it was. 6.0? Yes, I believe it was a 6.0, and it presented well. But I already had one in a 5.5 that I thought presented better. So I was happy with the appearance of the book, not the grade. You know, sometimes it's about the appearance. And I traded it and I traded this book for 3 books and some cash. But I was able to get probably like a 5.0-ish copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 129, first appearance of the Punisher. So I was happy with that. In the piles, I'll show you the other 2 books because I already got those. I subbed those up and got them graded, and they came back above my expectations. I was very happy with them. But anyway, they're right here. FF Annual number 6. This came back a 7.0. And Fantastic Four number 45. Look at the colors pop on that. Another 7.0. So just some nice books. The tanning on the back of this book, and a couple of, you know, it's got some creases on it. But all in all, that book presents really nice. So those 3 books were traded for that first Mysterio. I thought I did well. Another one of my pickups this year, some SIG books that there were artists that I had never met before and I was happy to meet. So myself and Jeff Johnson, Manny NYC, and Joker M21 went to the New York Art Show type of show, but they had Bill Sienkiewicz there as a guest signer. Unfortunately, he didn't show up for hours. We were about to abandon ship and leave. We walked out of the show, and who's coming down the street? So we stopped him, started talking to him. He apologized. He had a little conversation with him. Came back, and he was gracious enough to sign all our books for us. Book I got signed by him was this Fantastic Four Fantastic Four number 1. This is the Bill Sienkiewicz variant, signed by Bill. It's the Doctor Doom cover that I just love. Just an amazing cover, in my opinion. Next book is a shout out to my boy Amazing Murphinator. He was able to find these books a while back. Sent me a couple. I asked if I can get a couple from him, and I pressed it, cleaned it to the best of my ability, and it's Wolverine 55, the Greg Land variant, that homage to the Golden Age book right there, signed by Greg Land. Just a beautiful cover. I was actually fortunate enough to get 2 of these. Both of them came back 9.8. Another book, signatures, and shout out to the community. And again, this is what this community is all about and why it's so great. There are so many guys out there that are at cons that are willing to help you. You'll help them. What's it hurt to stand online? If you're going to get a book signed for somebody, hook up somebody that you know in the community or that you talk to on a regular, and they're able to get the opportunity you're not able to get. You're able to get somebody that they're not able to get. Doesn't hurt. I submitted it. So my shout out here goes to my man and his missus, the Dorkeries, because they blessed me with that. So this was a book that I picked up 2 copies of this at the Zap sale for half price. And when I was talking to Andy and he was telling me he was going to San Diego, and I saw that Middleton was going to be there, I asked him if he could get 2 books signed for me, because Middleton is just, at that point, wasn't doing any cons, being that he's from England and everything else. And he was fortunate enough to get it for me. He was like the last guy in line with a witness for this. So I really appreciate all the work he put in for it. But these were pressed and cleaned by me also, 9.8. So beautiful. Second one I sold, and that's a lot of the times that's what you'll see me do. I'll raffle off a book to finance what it cost me, shipping and everything else, and to cover the books and just make my money. So it's basically a free book. Here's a book I picked up at East Coast Comic Con Raw, and did a visual inspection on it, got a very good deal, and was super happy. I took it to New York Comic Con this year because another guy that I was going for was Brian K. Vaughan, somebody I hadn't seen before. Midtown Comics facilitated him. They had a signing with him, and I was able to get Y the Last Man, number 1, 9.8, signed by Brian K. Vaughan. So super happy with that. Just a great book. As I said, I had bought some Let Go books, some books through Let Go. This is one of them. These are all bought from the same vendor, same seller actually. Silver Surfer number 4. It came back a 4.0. It's the first time I ever owned this book. Just love it. Don't get me wrong, it has its issues on the top, but even in this condition of 4.0, it's not a cheap book. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous cover though. It's iconic actually. And this was another one I purchased from him, and that's First Mephisto. This came back at 5.0, so I was happy with the grade on this. Right before Christmas, one of the guys I follow on Instagram put up a couple of books for sale, and he said, buy it now, right now. He was looking to buy some Christmas stuff. If you buy it right now, with shipping and everything, put a flat rate on it. And I got a book for very good deal, way below GPA. Probably 20% off of GPA. Anytime I can get a book, as ETA Nick says, 20-30% off, you have the funds, jump on it. So picked up a Silver Surfer number 1 in a 4.0. Happy to have that. So as you see, that's my third copy. And then I was at a show this last 2 weeks ago, maybe almost, yeah, 2 weeks. And I was there with my son, and this came across and fell into my lap. Ultimate Fallout number 4, 9.2. Even in a 9.2, this book is pricey. You just had one sell for, I think it was over $600 in a 9.2. 9.8 right now is GPAing at almost $2,400. It's insane the stratosphere that this book has reached. I remember watching Archangel when he was pulling these out of Five Below bags. I think he had like 4 or 5 of them. And he had a bunch of 9.2, 9.4s, and I didn't jump on them at that time. Thought they were a little pricey and blew through the roof. 2019 was also the year of me returning to little shows. I'm finding I'm enjoying these little shows a lot more than the big cons when it comes to buying books. Let me preface it like that. I love the big cons for the whole experience, the cosplay, you know, the celebrities that you're running there, meeting other people. It's just all great. You get some good artists, but not that many sales to be. Baltimore was a big difference because it's more of a comic-based show, but not as many sales to be had. So I went to the small show for the first time this year. Saw a book that I knew was becoming a hot book because a certain actor was signed to like a 6-picture deal. And if you're signing somebody to a 6-picture deal, Marvel has invested money in this guy. And I got this book well below GPA. It had some waviness to it, but it didn't really have water damage. So after a press and clean, this came back a 7.0, and that's Avengers 48, first appearance of the Black Knight. Kit Harington has been named as the Black Knight. So can't wait to see what happens with Eternals with him and Eternals. Next book got from my man Gills on Instagram. Always gives me killer deals. You pretty fair and accurate grader. So I picked this up from him, and this was Silver Surfer number 1. It came back a 6.0. He was right on the money. We were guesstimating a 6.0 with an outside chance of a 6.5, but it was a 6.0 after a clean and press. And I kind of agree with the grade, you know. Happy with it. Another thing I do is, most of you guys probably do this too, road trips. When I go on a road trip and I'm away, I'll always go on my phone and look up a comic store. I try to hit one comic store every state I go to. Yeah, did my baseball road trip this year and went to Chicago. Hit up a couple places, stopped in Graham Crackers. Nothing impressive there. Stopped in Milwaukee, small stores there, nothing big. And then we went to Minnesota. When I got to Minnesota, we were driving around. We had some time. My wife mentioned doing a search. We searched for a shop. Get to the shop. It had a Yelp review of 2 months ago. Get there, the place is closed down. So I was like, shit, wasted of time. She got on her phone and started doing a search and found a place that was maybe a couple miles away. She says, let's try this place. I called the number up this time like I should have done the first time. And they were open. walked in this place and it was gigantic. It was bigger than Midtown Comics. If you guys have ever been to Midtown, I mean, this place was massive. And I'm looking all over. I saw Nova 1, which I was able to get for a good price. A bunch of smaller books there that I just picked up. Happy to get. First Null was in there. There was a couple other books. But the war book I got, and I couldn't believe I got it for the price, was this. I picked this up in a shop in Minnesota for $250. And that's Fantastic Four number 49. It came back a 5.0. Can't beat that. Couldn't believe that happened. Very happy with that book. First appearance of Galactus. First Silver Surfer cover appearance. Just really, really nice. And then this was an Instagram raffle winning. I've played some raffles. I've limited them to bigger raffles with books that I have a good shot. This was a raw book. Don't get me wrong. I think it was a little inflated, but still I did very well. 2 spots, and I got fortunate enough to win this book right here, Amazing Spider-Man 129. It came back at 3.5 after clean and press. It's actually being raffled off right now on Instagram. I believe that the raffle is closed, so this will be going to a new home. But happy to have won that book this year. Here goes another book that just right place, right time. Had a friend tell me that he was looking to get rid of a book. He needed to make some cash. I asked him how much. He gave me an offer, gave me a price. I jumped on the price. Told me the book had never been pressed before. Book was a 9.4. When I got the book in hand, cracked it out, definite pressable defects. I was hoping for a 9.6 with fingers crossed on a 9.8 because it's so subjective. And I was fortunate enough to get this up to a 9.8. So that's Batman Adventures 12. First appearance of Harley Quinn, 9.8. And then 2 more books left. I'm sorry if this is a little long. Made a deal with another collector, someone who I pressed books for, who's a great guy. Comes on YouTube occasionally. And he hooked me up. He took care of me. He knew I wanted this book. He took a couple of mid-level books that I had, gave me this book, which had a lot of pressing and cleaning defects. And, I know he took care of me and he hooked me up. And I appreciate that immensely. But this came back a 6.5. It was a Werewolf by Night, number 32. We estimated this before the press and clean about a 5.0, 5.5. But like I said, a lot of pressable defects, a lot of dirt that needs to be cleaned. And then last book I got was from my boy Joe Rock. A book that I've coveted forever. And I kind of missed the boat on it initially. But I got a good deal from Joe and was able to get this book and finally add it to the collection. And that's Incredible Hulk number 181 and a 6.0. And I'll tell you what, I've been looking at this book quite a bit. And I might give it a crack at pressing, because it doesn't look like it has been pressed properly. I'm going to give it a shot, I think. I'm just going to crack it out. It's just that I have to pay fair market value on that, so it's going to be over $100 to press that book. To grade that book. But so be it. I think the increase will be worth it. I was happy with it. Even if I get a half a grade bump and get it to a 6.5, I'll be very happy. Besides, it just proves that I can get it up another grade. That's it for now. That's my year in review. 2020 started off well. Purchased a couple other books already. In the process of making a deal to pick up a couple more big books. Sent some books out to CGC recently, so you'll see them out there, either raffles or auctions, and some will be staying in my collection. Bought an NYX 3. I have one in a 9.4. If this comes back 9.6 or better, it'll stay in my collection, and the 9.4 will be up for a raffle. So keep an eye out on my Instagram page. It's Erod212. If you have any pressing needs, hit me up. Send me a DM on Instagram. Take a look at my work on there. Talk to the community. Most guys will tell you about me. I'm pretty fair. And I try and do the best job possible Check out New York Warriors. They should be having an auction coming up soon. They're always putting out great content, great videos. And until my next video, peace.